What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Game Time with John Eads. Super excited for this episode. We got a guy in from the local area here, Jack Ruckert, in his LSU purple and gold. He just finished up over at Catholic High. Not yet officially graduated, right? Still got to get the piece of paper?
Yes, sir, we did.
Oh, you did already?
May 17th, we got the diploma.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Don't have to wait. Anyway, you already got it.
We're done.
So got the piece of paper. High school's done. Graduate from Catholic High, and a very good baseball career over there, which we will get into. The next steps for him, as you can see on the polo, LSU, he was committed for several years, and he signed a couple months ago, and he will begin his journey with Jay Johnson and the baseball team in just about a month, in early July. So, Jack, thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to see you play this past season, the past couple years, and I'm sure you're excited to be done with school, have a little bit of a break here.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, it was a hell of a ride. It was awesome, but, I'm ready for the next chapter.
So you went to Catholic High for 4 years, right?
5 years,
5
actually.
years.
I came in 8th grade.
Gotcha. That's how it works, right? You can come in a little bit early. When does it start? Is it 6th grade, 7th?
So in 8th grade, there's I think 80 kids, like 100 or 80. So not everyone, but a good amount of people go. And if you go, 5 years. So it was awesome.
We had the same thing in my high school. We were talking about that before. They call them 6-year men because you can start there in 7th grade, and then a select few will go from 7th all the way to 12th. So,
wow.
Do they do anything like that for y'all, like 5-year, anything like that, or?
For graduation, we took an 8th grade picture.
Gotcha.
So that was cool.
Was there a decent amount of y'all in that?
There was.
I know you said 100 of y'all were in the 8th grade thing, but you don't all stay.
Right. There was a lot of. It was great memories all together. We were talking about our 8th grade times. But a lot of people made it all the way through, so it was great.
Cool. A lot of teammates, or just kind of sporadic,
A couple, football teammates that I had, and baseball teammates, just everybody.
Cool. I didn't know you played football. We'll have to ask you about that.
All right.
That's cool. What do you like about Catholic High? You spent 5 years there and 5 successful years, both in the classroom, outside. What was your favorite part?
To be honest, everything. At the beginning of my time in 8th grade, it was a big change from, the discipline, the starting school early, the uniforms, having our hair cut a certain way. But, after looking back in 5 years, it was awesome. The discipline they have for us, and, also the sports. It was amazing. The football, the baseball, cheering on the football games, our teams were great all 5 years. Those are memories I'll have for the rest of my life. And then the baseball, we got 3 state championships. We were 147-17 as a senior class. Coach Bass, Coach Billings, Coach Knockan, Coach Kulat, they made it so special, and I have nothing but great things to say.
Special group, special school. Everything y'all do over there, man, is elite and first class. And I do enjoy how you all show up to all the different sporting events. It could be a Tuesday night and y'all are playing like Scotlandville or, someone like that. And the bleachers are packed, There's probably a lot of other things y'all could be doing on a Tuesday night, homework and things like that. But y'all are at the game.
Yes, sir. We call it Bear Nation. I remember seeing you a ton at the basketball and football, and that's what makes it so special. Everyone roots for everybody, and it's really a brotherhood. Yeah,
that seems like what y'all preach, and you don't just preach it, you do it. So, well, let's get into football. I want to start there. How long did you play football for?
So I played my 8th grade and freshman year.
Okay.
So 2 years, and it was great.
And you played growing up and
yes,
stuff
sir.
in middle school and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go for middle school, by the way?
I went to St. Aloysius.
Okay.
So
is that a typical path? You go from there and then to Catholic or something like that?
It's one of the big feeder schools. It's in the Catholic League, they call it, I think. So
yeah.
Mercy, St. Aloysius, St. George, all those schools, we always play each other and end up at Catholic together.
Cool. Yeah, we had the same kind of thing, a Catholic League and then the feeder programs and all these middle schools around and whatnot. What'd you play in football?
I played safety.
Okay.
So in high school I played safety, and in middle school I was running back, tight end, and then outside linebacker.
Okay, I could see that. And then did you kind of give it up to focus more on baseball, that kind of thing?
Yes, sir. Just the summers really, with the summer baseball and the summer workouts we had for football, it was tough to make both. But so I ended up just focusing on baseball.
It's kind of a bummer. I go to different schools, and sometimes about this time of year, we'll go for the spring football games, the summer 7-on-7, and some of these guys are out there just balling. And you're like, man, y'all are going to have a good team. And then I come back in a couple months, and some of the guys just quit because they're focusing on the one sport, because it's so difficult. And especially down here, you guys, if you're playing one sport, you were doing that sport the whole year, whether it's baseball, it's football. So was that kind of difficult at first to deal with?
Right. I mean, it's not to say you can't play both at Catholic. It's just really challenging. I mean, it's definitely possible. I had a great friend, Cohen LeBlanc. He did too, and a lot of people do too. It's just I thought was best for me was just to focus on baseball. So it was a great time playing football though.
Because then you have more time to do the travel ball and to go to the camps and the showcases, right, and get recruited a little bit better, I guess, rather than if you were at a football practice or whatever. So
yes, sir.
Understandable. I just thought that was interesting. I didn't think you played football because I've only known you as a baseball player. But let's get into that baseball career. How did you first get into that sport?
Baseball, I mean, ever since I can remember, ever since I was very, very young, I played baseball, and me and my dad have always, hit together, thrown together, and so ever since I can remember, I've been playing baseball.
You got siblings?
I do. I have a younger sister who's a freshman or going to be a sophomore at Dunham.
Okay.
She plays basketball and does cheerleading.
Okay, cool. I'll have to look for her. We go to those basketball games pretty often. Good programs over there, all of them. Love spending time on that side of town for sure. What did you play in baseball originally? Was it kind of just you played everything kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, when you're young, it's just shortstop, third base, pitcher, everywhere, first base. But, whenever I was coming 9 and 10, when you're more specialized, it was always shortstop, and then I would pitch, and travel ball. So really always been an infielder, and I used to pitch too.
When did you decide that shortstop is the position you focus on?
I just love being at shortstop because you can help lead the other guys. It's a very vocal position, get on the ball a lot. But I'm not dedicated to shortstop. If I need to play third base or second base or left field, right field, I'm good to do that. So, but I do really like shortstop.
That's a coach's dream, a guy that is willing to do whatever it takes. I'm sure Coach Bass appreciated that. Did you always play shortstop at Catholic, or did you come in playing something else?
My freshman year, I played a little bit of right field, but then my sophomore through senior year, I played shortstop.
Awesome. Okay. So growing up, who was your favorite major league team to watch?
The Washington Nationals. Yes,
Why?
sir. So I was originally born in Washington, D.C., actually.
Oh, okay.
So my parents met there, and I was born in Washington, D.C. We grew up going to the games, me and my dad and my mom, and Bryce Harper, all those guys. Always loved watching them.
Yeah, I was going to ask who some of your favorite players were and stuff like that. What ages were you in D.C.?
I moved here in third grade.
Okay.
So, yes, sir.
What brought y'all down here, if you don't mind me asking?
My parents are both originally from New Orleans, so they wanted to be back home. Washington, D.C. was great, but they wanted to be back home, so, only an hour away from New Orleans. Still can see my grandparents, and they live in New Orleans, so Louisiana's great.
Awesome, okay. Do you have memories of going to the monuments very often and stuff and, seeing all those things more often than people from out of town would?
I do, yeah. I remember, being young, going to the Capitol and the Washington Monument, all those types of things. So it was great there.
Have you been in the White House?
I have
Okay.
actually.
I was going to say, if you lived there, take a tour or something.
Been on a tour, yeah.
Awesome.
It was really cool.
What's your favorite monument in D.C.? That's a question I've never asked anyone, but I'm curious.
I'm going to say the Washington Monument. So
okay. Any particular reason?
It's just a cool one that I, have good memories going to.
Cool. D.C. is awesome, man. Really picturesque and good walking spots downtown and metro system and all that. So
right.
I go there somewhat often. I think they got a direct flight now from Baton Rouge to D.C.
They do. I saw that.
That's new or whatever. The times I look up at those billboards. But that's cool. Did you adjust pretty well down here? Because, I'm not from here, as well, I guess, because you were born in D.C. The heat and everything else that, is unique to this place, you adjusted pretty well to it?
I would think so. It at first it was tough, obviously, just knowing nobody. But everyone's so welcoming here and so nice. Like it didn't take long at all to make some friends that I still have today. So it was awesome.
Couldn't agree with you more. So that's that chapter of your life. You go DC, back to Baton Rouge. Skipping ahead a little bit, we'll get to high school. What did you expect when you got to Catholic High? Because it's been a strong program for a while, obviously.
Yes, sir. I mean, in middle school, I remember just going to Catholic football games and baseball games and just idolizing those dudes, being like, dang, that's so cool. And so whenever I was coming to Catholic, I was super excited. And, I couldn't write a better script of my high school career. I mean, it was amazing. It was so much fun, and it fulfilled, all my expectations.
It's good. When you got there and you were in 8th grade, did they allow you to play JV or freshman or anything like that?
They actually allowed me to play varsity.
So you were varsity as an 8th grader?
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the disrespect.
No. So I played varsity as an 8th grader and then some freshmen too. So it was, I got to see how it was run in the varsity level, but also get a lot of reps on the freshman team. So it was amazing. It was great.
So you had to try out, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that situation, they'll place you on one of the – y'all got varsity, JV, and freshman in
sir.
baseball? I believe it because you got so many players over there. You just had such a great tryout. They were like, hey, we want you on varsity right now in 8th grade.
I mean, I had a good tryout, but, so whenever I was – in 8th grade or the 8th grade, I mean, the freshman team and varsity would practice together.
Okay.
So, you kind of see everybody and match yourself up with everybody. And so it just kind of happened from there. I'm so thankful that Coach Bass did that. So it was amazing.
You probably had a lot of confidence in yourself. I'm sure you spent a lot of time preparing for years. Were you surprised that you got those opportunities so quickly there?
I mean, I remember, so actually we had a scrimmage, a preseason scrimmage, and Coach Bass and a senior at the time, Mason Zambo, they were like, come to the press box after the scrimmage. And so I went up there, and Coach had a jersey for me, and I was like, dang, what does that mean? He's like, you're going to be on varsity, get to dress out this year. And I was ecstatic. I mean, I have a picture of me holding up the jersey. So, to see where it came from then to now, it was special.
I'll have to have you send me that so we can put it up. It would be awesome. What number was it? Was it 14?
It was 39.
39.
39.
Yeah. Makes sense, right? I mean,
yes,
you're just happy to have a jersey at that point, right?
Yeah.
How long have you known Coach Bass?
I want to say since around 6th grade when I would go on the open house tours. I met him there. So
you guys go back a ways, and he knew who you were at the tryout based on prior conversations y'all had and stuff.
Yes, sir.
He'd seen you play, I'm sure, something like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Heard about you.
Just video and stuff. So
yeah.
Social media.
So what's your favorite thing about him? He seems like a really great coach to play for.
I mean, he's an awesome coach. He knows the game so well. But my favorite thing personally about him is just, developing men, character and stuff off the field. I mean, over my 5 years, the amount of manhood, we call it manhood meetings, which is really not even about baseball, but we take, a good amount of our practice, 20 minutes, just in the locker room, talking about integrity or honesty, just traits like that. And he'd teach us about them. And, he a big saying he has is never leave the program a better player than person. So, he truly lives that. He molds us into the best men we can be.
I like that. And typically when you're doing that, success will follow, because a lot of that will carry over into everyday life and then on the field. So, yeah, the couple times that I'm around y'all, during the season and stuff, it seems like it's a really tight ship, but everybody understands that, and it's a high standard, but you're accepting of it, and it seems like y'all meet it
for sure
all the time, So you make varsity as an 8th grader. At what point did you kind of feel like you belonged at that level?
So I have an interesting story. So my freshman year, we were playing the first game of the season against St. Paul's. So Cade Anderson actually is on the mound.
Right, yeah.
So he went to St. Paul's. We used to battle him, my 8th grade year, and he graduated when I was a sophomore, so I played him 3 times, or got to be in the dugout at least my 8th grade year. And so I started that first game against Cade Anderson. I was leading off, and so I faced him like 3 times. He was great. He was up to like 94. We just knew he was a beast, and that really opened my eyes to what varsity baseball can be, and how good players really are. And so that's when I kind of set the standard of like what I wanted to be, like that. And the next morning I wake up and I wasn't feeling good, and I actually got mono.
Oh, dang.
So, yeah, my freshman year, didn't go the way I wanted it because I was out and stuff. But so my sophomore year, I started at shortstop, and that's really my first year that I, played every game and knew that I belonged.
It's quite a welcome to high school. You got to face Cade Anderson, prime Cade Anderson in high school at least.
Yeah.
And then you get mono.
Yes, sir.
Jeez. So what was that offseason like leading into your sophomore year?
Leading into my sophomore year, played summer ball, and then that was my first year not playing football. So I was in the weight room with the team in the fall, and that was great just to be able to, get ready for that season, and it was awesome.
I'm sure that helped. When Cade was pitching against you, were you guys committed at the same time? Like, had you known each other and stuff like that?
I was committed and he was committed, but no one thought he'd make it to school because of the draft, but he ended up getting hurt. So I knew him, and I don't know if he knew me or not. But
I was going to say, did y'all talk at all or anything like that? Or
not that game, but I've talked to him in the fall. I saw him, and we were talking about St. Paul's, how they were going to be this year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we both remember.
They made the playoffs this year, right, St. Paul's?
They did.
They were in it for a little while.
They were a really good team. We played them the first game of the year, and we're in a battle with them for sure.
Are they in y'all's playoff bracket usually?
They are. They're
Gotcha.
in D1.
Gotcha. Okay. That would have been a cool matchup, but, things work out the way they do. So, what was that like facing Cade? He's pretty dang tough, I'd imagine, to go against.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a lefty-lefty battle, too,
lefty
right?
on lefty. It was at their place. He was top of 94. But I had some good at-bats against him that I remember, but he was really, really good. So, but, he was – it was just fun to watch him, really.
What's it been like seeing him now in the purple and gold, pitching at LSU the past 2 years, specifically this year? This has been a breakout year for him.
This year he's been amazing. Every Friday it's like they got a chance no matter who they're playing, no matter who the other team's pitching. He's I saw something that he's being top 5 pick, and he for sure has that talent and has been doing that. So it's great to watch him.
Yeah, if it means anything to you, you won't have to deal with him in fall ball or the winter because he's draft eligible and, he's going to go, right? He's a top 5 pick as of right now, so there's no way he's going to turn that down. Anybody else that, you knew in high school that's committed to LSU that you played against or anything like that?
Well, William Schmidt.
That's of course.
One of my best friends. So I talk to him all the time, and he's there right now, and he loves it. So that's really who I talk to the most on the team.
Have you kind of asked him, how freshman year is and tried to get some tips about how to be prepared and things like that?
Yes, sir. I've talked to him. So I went on my visit in the fall and went to his dorm after. So, he was just telling me all about it and how much he loves it. And he's a pitcher, so it's a little different, like the schedule and stuff. But he's told me how the position players are, and I'm super excited.
Were you surprised that he ended up deciding to go to school and turn down?
To be honest, I was, but he's so good. It's not like he turned down pro ball; he just delayed it.
Yeah.
So he loves LSU. I think he made the right decision. He loves it, and he's gonna do great these next 2 years coming up.
Yeah, he's definitely had some moments this year. Obviously, the adjustment is difficult. From high school to the SEC, no matter who you are. And Cade Anderson last year, he was a bullpen guy for them, midweek starter, same kind of thing, and now look what he's doing, right? So you think William could take the same kind of jump in his second year?
For sure, yeah. He's all the talent in the world. I have no doubt that he's going to have a great next 2 years.
Yeah. I bumped into you at a few games this year. How many would you try to get to, or, whenever you got free time, basically, you just pop over there and check it out kind of thing?
It's tough during the season to make it. I made a couple midweek games.
Yeah.
I made the UL game. I had some friends in that. But ever since the season's been over and I graduated, I've had a little more free time. So I've made it to a couple of the regional games and made a good amount so far.
So you see this from a different perspective. Like, it's one thing when you're talking to a transfer portal kid or somebody that's not from here and they see the LSU games on TV, but they've never been to one. Like, take a Daniel Dickinson, for example. But you grew up around here. You've been going to the games for a long time, I'd imagine. So what's it like from the fan perspective, and how excited does that make you when you're actually going to be the one out there playing?
Yes, sir. I mean, I went to the Little Rock game, the last one. I went to all 4 of the regional games, actually, but the last one, whenever Ethan Fry cleared the bases, I'm just like, I couldn't imagine being in that position. Just those fans, they're the best in the world, and I can't wait to get an opportunity to put on the purple and gold. I mean, yeah, like you said, I have been watching them ever since I've been young, and this city and this state, they love the LSU, and I love that.
Along those lines, did you have a couple favorite Tigers growing up that you really, idolized?
Josh Smith, he's a Catholic guy and super nice dude. I mean, he used to be around Catholic a couple years ago and practice with us basically. So that was awesome. And then watching Kramer Robertson play, Ryan Terrio, he's a coach. He coached me when I was younger. So those were probably my 3 favorite Tigers, growing up.
Sweet. Yeah, my boss actually had Ryan in recently, set right here, and they were chatting about LSU baseball. So it's pretty cool. How awesome would it be for you to be one of those guys, like a Josh Smith, for example, be a Catholic alum that was an LSU Tiger and then goes on to a big pro career? Do you think about that ever?
That's the dream. I mean, The dream is to be a big leaguer and, have great years at LSU. So just trying to, one day at a time, make it there.
No doubt. Yeah. No, I mean, these next couple weeks are probably the last time in your life, for a while at least, that you'll have, a bit of a break. You're not thinking about the next season at LSU or the minors. So enjoy those, and definitely one step at a time, not to get too far ahead of ourselves. But it is cool, to come back after a great career at LSU and to be honored like the Nola brothers were, right? And then do your thing in the pro level. Kicking it back a little bit, so you mentioned you committed to LSU November of 2021.
Yes, sir.
Freshman year. Just run me through how LSU got on your radar and vice versa.
So back then the rules were a little different. Now it's you can't be reached out to if you're recruiting until junior year or something like that.
Yeah. Did they change that? Or
they did. They changed it I think last year. So it was different then. But my 8th grade year, actually, I was talking to the previous staff, and then Coach Johnson got hired, and one of the coaches came and watched me play summer ball, and then I got in contact with them and went to a camp in the fall and met all the coaches, did a little showcase type thing there, and then ended up committing probably a month or 2 later to Coach Johnson, and couldn't be more thrilled.
What did they like about your game?
Coach Johnson really likes left-hand hitting infielders, so that's what I am, and he's a great coach, and I can't wait to play for him.
Those are hard to find, right? Because last year it was Jones, Tommy White, Milam, who's a switch hitter. He would be the one lefty, and then Braswell, who's a righty. So are those rare, left-handed hitting infielders?
I mean, I guess so. I don't really think about it, but, I guess if you watch some big leaguers, I can think of those. So Corey Seager and Josh Smith.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters too much, but it's awesome to be a left-hand hitting infielder.
It's interesting because, you bat left, but you throw right. How does that work?
So actually, when I was young, I don't even know if this is true because I was so young, but people say my dad really wanted me to hit left-handed, so whenever he tossed me, he'd always have me on the left side. So I guess that's how it happened because I do everything else righty. But I love hitting left-handed, so it's good.
Interesting. Have you ever tried to be a switch hitter or?
I've never tried to be a switch hitter. Sometimes I'll take righty swings.
Just for fun.
I golf righty, so.
What the heck? Yeah. Maybe Coach Wanaka would try to get you. I don't know. Have a little more versatility or something.
Yeah.
But you could slug it left, so it's hard enough as it is to hit, no matter what side of the plate you hit on, right? So that's interesting, though. you see, like Coach Johnson, your dad was playing chess and not checkers. Like, he was trying to think about how can we maximize his value and make him unique, and that was it right there.
I guess so.
So that's cool. So first time you met Coach Johnson, do you remember, and what'd you think?
First time I met him in person was at that camp. I knew he was a good coach at Arizona and the place he's been before that. So getting to meet him there was great. Talking to him, you can just tell how much he wants to win and how much he loves LSU. This is his whole life, and I really respect that and love that. So, he's been a great coach at LSU, and can't wait to play for him.
So he's been there ever since, these 3 years or so. How has y'all's relationship kind of blossomed since you've, known each other quite a while at this point?
Yes, sir. It's good. Whenever I went my visit in the fall, I went and sat down with him again. And so, whenever I call him or anything, he's great to talk to. And really the whole coaching staff, Coach Jordan and Coach Yeski and Coach Wanaka, I saw them in the fall, and I talked to Coach Jordan a lot. And so they're all great, and, I can't wait to play for them.
Who would be your direct coach? Is Coach Johnson kind of the infield coach? Because he played second base, right?
Coach Johnson and Coach Simpson.
Gotcha. They kind of team up or whatever.
They're the infield guys.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. What's a conversation with Jay Johnson like? Like when you guys are talking when you're on a visit, he's kind of giving you, here's what you should be doing. Here's what the situation would be when you come in kind of thing. Where you're at on the depth chart maybe. Is it that kind of stuff?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's really, if I ask what should I work on or stuff like that, he'll let me know. So it's great. Whatever I ask, he's super honest, and he's very straightforward, and I like that about him. So, whenever I talk to him, it's great, and I can't wait to play for him.
Seems that way. He has a lot of meetings. He tells us all the time. I was meeting with the players for hours today, a couple minutes each, just updating them on what we're doing, where we're at, and things of that nature. So, lot to be excited about, I think, in the future, playing for him and whatnot. Anybody else on the staff you're really close with, or any of the current players? Or
I would say Coach Jordan.
Yeah.
Coach Jordan, he's super helpful with everything, and he's actually the recruiting coordinator.
Right.
So, he's a great coach too. I'd say I'm probably closest or second closest with him.
Makes sense. Yeah, he's always goofing around with the players. I got a funny video of him the other day. NCAA rules say you're not allowed to start practicing until 10 o'clock for the tournament. And it was 9:59, and they were waiting to play catch in the outfield, and Coach Johnson grabs a mitt, and he's just in the stance ready to start playing catch. He's just held it for a minute, and then once 10 o'clock hit, they started. He's like one of the guys, right? Just a little bit older, and he's always waving the arm. And,
right.
So you hope to see a lot of that in your future.
I do.
A lot of Coach Jordan waving the arm for you to go home, right?
Right.
So why did you want to commit when you did? I mean, that's kind of early, right? Freshman year?
I mean, LSU is my dream school. It's a school I've always wanted to go to. And then the coaches, Coach Johnson, whenever I was, going through the recruiting process, I looked at all the schools that, I didn't just focus in on LSU, but they were always my dream school. And so it just felt right, and, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Yeah. So you considered some other programs, just gave it, the courtesy look, right? Because you want to pick the best opportunity. Of course, you live right here, and it'd be awesome to go there. But if there's a better place for you, you got to consider that. So what other schools were you kind of looking at?
Just some SEC schools, some SEC, ACC. They took their time to recruit me, so I'm going to, take my time back and look in depth to them. So
respectful. Wouldn't expect anything less from you. Did you take any visits to far away places? Did you go to a Charlottesville or a Chapel Hill or something like that?
Nowhere too far. I mean, there was a school in Texas, and then, but yeah, I mean, I went to some other schools, but LSU feels like home, and it felt like home then, still does, and it's my dream school, and can't wait.
It is home, technically. But that can be a fun time, because you get those visits. You can take them to just go to parts of the country you haven't seen before. Who knows? You might like it, You might choose to go to school there. But I think Tiger fans are happy that you're staying home here. So, 23, did you get to go to Omaha and see them win that over there? Or?
I did, actually.
Okay.
So, 2023, I was there. I didn't make the super regional because we had a tournament. I don't think I made the regional either, but I remember, so we had a tournament in North Carolina, and we were watching like Wake Forest and LSU, and so then they won, and me and my dad really wanted to go, so we got on a plane and headed to Omaha, so it was awesome.
Wow. So were you guys done with your tournament at that point? Or?
We were. So it worked out perfect. It like ended on a Tuesday, let's say, and the championship series started on like a Thursday. So it worked out great.
Had you been to Omaha before, or was that your first time?
I had not. That was my first time, and wow, it was amazing. I mean, seeing all the LSU fans, seeing LSU win, it was something special, and hopefully we can do that when I'm there.
Couldn't have gone any better. First trip, and they won the whole thing. And
right.
It was, like, really exciting. Like, every game except for the second one of the championship series was good.
Yeah.
Right? So that's awesome. I haven't been. I'm hoping to get to go. I mean, we'll see what happens over
2
the
weeks.
next – yeah. What can I expect?
A lot of LSU fans, a lot of rowdy LSU fans, and then LSU winning, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Well, got to get 2 wins here.
Right.
Out of my control, but if they do happen to go, I'm very excited, and it's going to be a good time. So that's awesome. And did you get to like celebrate with the team at all after they won or anything like that? Or?
So I remember after they won the game 3, saw them in the hotel, like coming back. I mean, there was a million people there. It felt like, but it was awesome seeing that happen.
Is it like surreal when you kind of just see how much fanfare there really is? Because I feel like it's not like this everywhere else.
No, I don't think it's like this everywhere else at all. I mean, just like seeing all the LSU fans there, whether it's them getting on the bus or getting off the bus, everyone's just so supportive, and it was awesome to see, and they're great fans.
Y'all missed North Carolina by 1 year because if you were at that tournament in 24, they played at Chapel Hill, you could have just bounced right over there.
Right.
So, yeah, last year, another good team, right, but came up short in a Game 7 just like we had on Monday there against Little Rock. Did you keep up with that team pretty closely and whatnot?
Yes, sir. I mean, I remember watching the whole North Carolina regional and all that, so that was a great team too, and, they had great players as well.
I remember William was at that game, I believe the Game 7. He and a friend of his got in the car and drove up there to watch it.
They did, actually. Yeah. I remember William actually texted me if I wanted to go.
I'm sure he did.
But I had like a tournament coming up I was getting ready for, but yeah, I remember seeing him on like social media being there, and yeah, he's huge LSU fan, grew up that way, and so happy. He's so happy to be there, and he's going to do great.
So y'all were on the same team last year, 2024. You win the state championship, and y'all won your freshman year too, right?
Yes, sir.
And then sophomore year, you were just a couple wins short.
We lost in the semifinals,
yes.
But we had a really good team that year, amazing talent. Just came up a little short, just in those. So sophomore year was a 1-game semifinal and championship.
Yeah, and they changed it your junior year.
They changed it this year.
Yeah.
So.
Did you like that rule change or?
I did. I liked it a lot. I feel like, that's how the MLB is, and so, the best team's usually going to win in that format, and just shows the depth of the teams.
Right, that's what I think. So every round up to the semis is 3-game series, right? Previously, yeah. And the semifinals is where it's 1 game.
One game, and
that's tough, because in y'all's case, you just saved William for the championship, right?
Right.
And then it was over with. But now you're going to have to really prove the depth of the team and that, you can win 2 out of 3 there. So it was different. Now, y'all didn't need that this year. Took care of it too.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But that was an interesting rule change. A lot more trips for us from here to Sulphur, but I love making them. So, you know what? Whatever. Bring them on. What made that 24 team so great?
I mean, we were a lot like this year's team. We were just so close. We loved each other, and we were playing for each other. And, the talent was obviously amazing, but it really was that. It was the chemistry, and it was just the, like the forget about me, playing for the guy next to me type mentality. We went to Hoover that year in a tournament, and we played amazing teams, like just so talented teams. And it was just, we were obviously greatly talented, but we were playing for each other, just had that special chemistry and bond that took us over the top.
Did you play against Hoover High School?
We did not. We played literally like
Everybody
1
else.
minute away from them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right by the Met.
right by the Met.
Yeah.
Played championship was in the Met actually.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Super cool.
Really cool facilities out there, man. It's such a special place.
It
Have you
is.
been there for like the actual SEC tournament?
I have been.
When'd you go?
I went to one game in 2020 last year.
Okay,
So
you were there last year?
I actually
Awesome.
went
That was
to
fun.
the game Milam hit the bomb.
yeah.
So that was awesome. Me and some friends from high school, I guess you could say now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was special too.
So that's another one of those venues where you're like, man, this is gonna be me in a couple of years. You know?
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Just one day at a time. But yeah, it was a lot like Omaha. A lot of LSU fans, super passionate, and yeah, that was amazing too.
I love Hoover, man. Last year was so fun, and then this year was a shorter trip. But it's kind of like I think the payoff's going to be down the road because Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, they were the two teams in the championship, and they are both out of the NCAA tournament already. You know, so I think LSU fans are bummed that the Tigers didn't win there, but I think it was good for them to get rest, to keep things lined up, to go win the Natty.
Right.
So time will tell. But
Time will tell.
I think the payoff is still down the road there. But yeah, Hoover's great. You're gonna enjoy that. It's cool. You've actually already gotten to play inside that ballpark. So
That was amazing. Yeah.
and same with the box because you guys played that game against U High. So
Right.
and you've done camps and stuff. So you know you've already got a feel for the confines and stuff like that. So that's gonna be awesome. All right, in high school when William's on the mound, how easy is your job for the most part?
So me and one of the teammates, Brooks Wright, we were talking about this like a week ago. We were hitting together, and you know, in the moment, whenever we were on the team and stuff, we were like stressing and you know, super, very like on the edge, nervous. But we were talking, we were like looking back at it, we're like, this dude's throwing 99 with the best curveball in the country. I mean, I don't know what we were stressing about, but it was just great memories that we have, and he was the best pitcher, you know, I feel like in high school history, at least Louisiana high school history. I mean, the season he had, what he did was spectacular, and I'm just grateful to be his teammate during that.
And again, in a couple months. Well, 1 month. Did he set a record for like strikeouts in a season or something like that? Am I remembering that correctly?
He did.
Yeah.
He had the single season Catholic strikeout record.
And that's a hard record to break because you've had some good pitchers there over the years, right?
I think he broke Aaron Nola's.
Yeah, exactly. So whew, when you're doing that, you're doing something right.
Right.
You mentioned Brooks. I remember seeing him earlier this year when UL and LSU played. He started for them. He played a decent amount of games. And those two got to go against each other, actually, in that game. I think – I forget if it was you I was talking to or somebody else on your team. Those two used to go at it a lot in BP or whatever, live ABs at Catholic and stuff.
They did, yeah. They're best friends and both doing great at the next level. So, yeah, they're great people too.
How difficult was that for you, having to be in the batter's box when Williams pitching to you?
It was fun. Like just like, you know, our inner squads, they get super competitive, and that's one of my best friends. So it was, you know, after, you know, someone's me hearing about it. So it was great.
It's y'all's inner squads are a glorified college exhibition. You know, you got Noah Lewis in center. He's committed to UL. You've got Delgado. You've got Nunes. You've got everybody's committed to a school. You at LSU. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Right.
Like you could just look around the whole field and everybody is committed to play college baseball.
Coach Bass likes to say, you know, it's one of the best games in the city.
Yeah.
Catholic High inner squad, black versus orange. It's awesome. And I got so many great memories just on a Saturday in January playing, going against my boys.
Yeah, and it just makes you better, you know, because it's every position, every at-bat, like it's all college level, right? So it just makes you that better of a player when you're actually going to college. Okay, so moving ahead, your senior year, you guys have never gone back-to-back, right? Did you think about that before the season?
I did. I mean, so it was a goal of ours, like, I want to say first team meeting, first time we talked about goals, it was like, this program's never gone back-to-back. Why not us? Let's do it. So it was something we thought about all year. And, you know, we didn't talk about it a ton during the year just because, you know, we were focused on winning that day and winning that game. But it was in the back of our minds for sure, just like the national championship in 2024. And for it to happen was so special.
Were you guys like surprised at all that you got a national championship? Because there's so many programs across the country, right? You guys are spectacular, but it's easy to get maybe lost in the shuffle with like 5 or 6 others. You know what I mean? That also win state championships. Like when you guys heard that announcement, what were you thinking?
I mean, so going to Hoover, and we went to Destin that year for a big tournament. So going to those 2 tournaments really put us on like the national stage, you could say, playing those teams from Georgia and Florida. So I remember the night before the state championship, because it was one game my junior year, me, Brooks, and Schmidt were talking, and like Andrew Hodges, another senior from that team, we were talking, we're like, if we win this game, we probably are going to be national champions. And like we were just so excited. And after we won that game, we took a picture with the American flag with our, right after the game on the mound. And then I want to say 3 weeks later or a month later, Coach Bass, got the call and saw it. We saw it everywhere, and it was a dream come true, really.
Pretty awesome. I was wondering why y'all were taking a photo with that American flag. Then it made sense. Just think about how many high school baseball programs there are in the United States, and you guys were one.
Right.
The one. It's awesome. Real quick on Brooks, then we'll get back into 25. I know he's in the portal. Is he getting interest and stuff? You guys chat about that at all?
Yes, sir. I mean, he's for sure getting interest. He's a great player, and, he did great at UL, and he loved UL, and, wherever he goes next, he's going to do great. So I'm excited for him.
Cool. Yeah, I think he started like 30-some-odd games, and was he center field, right field?
He played center. He played all
a little bit of everything.
He played
awesome
center.
Yeah, there's a couple UL kids that are from around here that are getting in the portal that all produce there. So I'm curious to see where they end up. But anyways, back to 25, going back to back. What was the pressure like this year? Because you guys, every game you play, you got a target on your back at Catholic.
So that was something we kind of adjusted to. I mean, all the years I've been there, everyone, a big game for them is Catholic, but we really felt it this year. I mean, I'm be honest. So, whenever we lost a couple games beginning of the year, we were scuffling a little bit, and we would see that team like celebrating like crazy whenever they beat us, and it was just like every game that we play, we got to bring like a state championship type mentality, because that's what they're bringing, and we got to match it. So, I'm thankful for it that all those teams brought their best, because that brought the best out of us, and, helped us in the playoffs whenever it really was like a state championship type game. We'd already been in those games in the regular season. So, those teams, the pressure was there, I guess you could say. We were just having fun together, but on the outside, the pressure probably was a lot, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I get that. And it's almost a compliment in a way when teams are rushing the field after you lose and stuff, because maybe they didn't expect to win, or beating you is a big deal because not many people do it, right? At what point did you kind of feel like, hey, like we got what it takes again, after going through some of those struggles early on?
I mean, really from the first day we had a practice, we all knew what the team was capable of, but in the playoffs, I just remember like how bought in everyone was, how bad everyone wanted to win. So around the semifinals, I'd say like the team was just so dialed in, so close together. I was like, we got a good chance of doing this thing, and we did, and it was special.
Did it? Did y'all even lose a game in the postseason?
We didn't.
I didn't think so. I know John Curtis, right, took you to extras.
They did.
And y'all came out with the win there. Man, remarkable, huh?
It was amazing. I mean, special.
So the bus, White Lightning, right? That's what y'all call it?
We do. We call it White Lightning.
What the heck happened with White Lightning this postseason? For the championship
Are you
series.
on the way?
Yeah.
It gave out on us.
Yeah.
I mean, so we were driving to Sulphur, and I was actually sleeping. I woke up, and we were pulling off to the side of the road. So it had a flat tire, but it rebounded quickly. So we were on it like by that night or the next day. So it didn't cause any problems, and it was great the rest of the time.
So that was on the way to the first game in Sulphur against Brother Martin there? Or that wasn't the semis, was it?
It was the championship.
That was the championship, yeah. So y'all had to stop get on a different bus and then go the rest of the way and play that day?
So we actually stopped, and our parents were following us because they were coming to the game. So got in with our parents and headed to the hotel, and then, the next we had chill time at the hotel, and then we were going to hit BP, and by the time we were going to hit BP, there was a new bus waiting for us. So
okay,
it worked out fine.
Wow. So that's like an old traditional school bus, White Lightning, right?
Yes, sir.
That y'all take?
We do.
I think I asked Coach Bass this, but why do you guys take that, and how'd the nickname come up and stuff?
I'm not really sure how the nickname came up. Just ever since I was in Catholic, they called it White Lightning. But, the reason we take it is just we have great memories on it is one, and then it's just gritty and tough, and, we kind of like that. That's kind of how we try to act and roll. So, I guess that's it, but it doesn't matter what bus we're on. We're just going to play.
Yeah, I like it. Well, of all things to go wrong with baseball, it's something that has nothing to do with baseball, but y'all handled it well. So I thought that was funny. I think another school that was there, I forget which one, maybe it was Live Oak, had an issue with their bus too. So, man.
I know, I heard about that
things
one.
happen,
Yeah,
I guess,
both went out.
I bet the name comes from, you ever seen the movie Grease? It's an old movie from the 80s.
I don't think so.
It's really good, so if you get some free time. Your parents would know it, I bet. John Travolta's in it, famous actor, and they called one of the cars Grease Lightning, so maybe White Lightning, Grease Lightning. Coach Bass definitely has seen Grease, so I'll have to ask him. But maybe that's the origin of it there. That last bus ride, I bet was fun coming back.
It was, yeah. Just tried to take it all in, and one last bus ride. So many great bus rides we've had and memories, but the last bus ride was special, and just everyone celebrating and having a good time.
And y'all went back that same night after you won?
Yes, sir.
That was a late night, early morning. But you probably weren't even worried about that.
Yeah, we were just celebrating, having fun, looking back on all the great times we had.
So you got 3 rings? 3 state championship rings?
Yes, sir.
You ever, I guess you don't have the third yet, but you put them on at the same time, or what do you do with 3 rings?
So I actually have them right on my bedside table, and just look at them sometimes and think of everything that went into it and all the great teammates and coaches that, made it so special.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great chapter of your life, very successful, and you hope the next one is too. So as we sit here right now, you are 1 month away, almost to the day, moving in, starting your LSU career. Where's your head at?
I'm just excited for the next chapter. Getting ready, preparing. So move in a month, and so just working out, hitting, everything, just getting ready to go, and I can't wait.
You think you're ready?
I'm ready, yes, sir.
Why?
Just because, my whole life I've trained for this, and baseball's my passion, and my dream is to be a big leaguer, and LSU produces big leaguers, so I can't wait, and just one day at a time, winning that day.
That's right. Do you hope to play for the Nationals if that's a possibility, because you grew up a Nats fan? And
for sure. Whatever team, but the Nationals would be amazing.
Yeah, whoever's going to draft you, you're thrilled, right? But
right.
It'd be cool to play for the team you were a fan of growing up, for sure. Let's see. I guess, are you close with anybody else in this freshman class coming in?
So there's 2 people from Louisiana, myself and William Patrick.
Okay.
He's from North Louisiana, and we've gotten close, over the year or 2 that he's been committed, and so that's probably my closest, future teammate, I guess you could say. And but there's a lot of guys in this class that I know from playing against or playing with, so we got a class that knows each other and kind of close, so we're excited.
Cool. What school does he go to in North Louisiana?
He goes to St. Frederick. It's a
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard of St. Frederick. Okay, awesome. It seems like y'all got a lot of dudes in your class that might be draft risks. Does that kind of check out?
That checks out.
Yeah. How do you kind of approach that?
Everyone's just trying to make the best decision for themselves and their family, and it's just like a guy-by-guy thing, and so, whatever happens, but I'm excited for whatever does.
And are you a draft-eligible sophomore, anything special like that, or are you a 3-year guy, whatever it takes kind of thing?
I'm a 3-year guy.
3-year guy? Awesome. Okay. Have you kind of looked at all into I know you've been committed, you're signed, everything like that. Did you ever kind of consider maybe going the minor league route right out of high school, or?
I guess the draft's in a month and a half, so
That you could still get drafted potentially.
Whatever God has planned is what He has planned. But like I said, I'm just taking it one day at a time, and whatever God has planned, He has planned.
Have you gotten to talk to scouts or kind of go through anything with that process to kind of learn it for when that time comes down the road, whenever?
Yeah, I've got to talk to scouts. Some scouts have been in my games, but it's all a blessing, and I'm grateful for it all. So, I'm just grateful for everything that has been happening in my baseball career.
It's cool. It's hard decisions. Like William, you just got your diploma. Now you got to decide if you want $3 million or if you want to go to college. Like, this is not a decision I had to deal with. My decision was, which college do I want to go to? You know what I mean? And then same with once I graduated and I was deciding where I wanted to go work. I don't know how y'all do it, man. That's tough. The pressure of that and everything. I can't even imagine. So, what are you most excited about for your freshman year?
Competing, and then first time putting on that uniform and playing in front of those fans. That's a dream come true, and that's something I look forward to and I can't wait for.
Are you hoping to get to wear 14 at some point? Is that your favorite number or something?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, if it's not freshman year, hopefully it's in the future. But I don't care what number I wear. Yeah. But 14 is it's what my dad wore, and it's what I wore all growing up. So it's my favorite number.
Cool. Yeah, I know Daniel Dickinson has it now. He has it because he probably liked it, but also Coach Johnson said he reminds him of Pete Rose. He plays hard and things like that. He certainly does. You'd probably even take 39 if you had to. Right?
I'll take whatever.
That's all that was available.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's exciting, man. So, you pitched a little bit in the past. Is that on the table at all, or are you going in as specifically an infield batter guy?
Infield, mainly a shortstop, but I'm an infielder and no pitching at LSU. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, so, wherever the coaches want to play me, I'm good with. So, I got an open mind, and I consider myself a shortstop, but I'm good with whatever.
Have they talked to you at all about what the plan is? Are they going to try you out at maybe second and short, or are you going in short immediately?
They've talked to me about just being athletic, being able to play all three spots in the infield, third, short, and second. But wherever they want to put me, I'm good with. So, I'll be ready for all of it.
Awesome. You think you can make an impact early? Do they feel like you can be a guy that as a freshman, helps them out a little bit, maybe like a goon squad kind of guy? You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's early. We got fall ball and all sorts. I haven't even been to school yet.
Right.
So, but I got high goals for myself, and I can't wait to get a crack at them.
Do you know what you're going to study?
Not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
No.
What are you interested in?
Maybe criminology or criminal justice, something like that.
That's what I would do if I wasn't doing this. I've always been fascinated by crime documentaries, crime movies, things like that.
Right.
So that'd be awesome. Along those lines, I used to ask everybody I talked to this question. I got away from it recently. I don't know why. What is a hidden talent you have, or something that not a lot of people know about you that you're really good at?
Hidden talent.
See, this is the curveball. I told you I was going to give you a curveball. This is it. So
hidden talent.
But I'm a righty. So this is a righty-lefty. It's good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think for a second.
Could be a hobby, a skill. I don't know.
I want to say, so a hidden I want to say a hobby that I have that I, like a lot is pickleball.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I was playing that yesterday. And then stuff I like to do in my free time, music. I don't make music or anything, but I'm always listening to music. And so I don't know if I have a hidden talent or anything that I'm aware of yet, but those are some things. Okay.
You don't know until it stumbles upon you sometimes. All right, last fun one. If you could pick right now, what would your walk-up song be? Or what's your favorite walk-up song that you've had in your life?
Okay, favorite walk-up song? Honestly, this one that I had my senior year. I don't think I would have it at LSU, especially freshman year. But
why is it
it's a time and a place
statement
type thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's called The Stroke. So
okay.
Billy Amick had it at Tennessee last year, and it's become super popular. It gets the fans involved, and it was awesome to have my senior year. So
Okay.
but hips don't lie. I had that my sophomore year. The
Jake Brown's got that.
Jake Brown
so.
has that. So
Yeah.
that was a good one. But
Yeah.
it's kind of just like they ask what your walk-up song is going to be, and you kind of come up with it then and there. Like,
Okay.
It's just on the spot type thing. So,
All right.
Yeah.
I like when, you can kind of piece together why they may have picked this one or that one. Like if your name's Benny, like this past week there was a guy named Benny on Little Rock, I think, or something like that, and his was Benny and the Jets,
Right.
things
Like
that.
John
So,
Pearson.
yeah, John Pearson,
Yeah.
Johnny Be Good. Yeah. Milam changed his recently. He had it for his entire freshman year, most of his sophomore year, and he's changed it like twice in the past couple of weeks. But it's working out. He's gotten out of his slump. Jared Jones did not need to do that. Along those lines, we'll wrap up with this. With this team, you think it has what it takes to win the Natty?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Kate Anderson, Anthony Ianson, the 1-2, and then this awesome lineup, awesome coaches. They're poised to go win a Natty. I mean, I know it's super tough, especially in Omaha.
Yep.
Just with the way it is and all the great teams, but they for sure got it, and I can't wait to watch these next couple weeks.
Promise is the last one. You are 1 month away from becoming an LSU Tiger officially. What is the one thing you want to accomplish while you are there?
While I'm there, just give my all for this state and this city. I mean, whenever I look back on my LSU career, I mean, I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to have any, I wish I did this. I want it to be, I gave my all every single day for my family and this awesome city and state and these awesome fans. So, that's my goal.
And going to Omaha would be nice too, if that's in the cards. All right,
And
multiple times.
A national championship would be nice too.
Yeah. Well, if you take care of that, just like at Catholic High, you'll probably find your way into that too. So, there we go. Jack Ruckert, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks
I'm really
for having
excited. Me. Absolutely, I'm really excited to see you start your career over there. Covered you over at Catholic for a little while, and now we'll see you 4 times a week, most weeks, with the Tigers. So it's gonna be awesome seeing you change out the black and orange and gray, Cur Dog gray, for purple and gold.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, look out for him. He's starting his career in about a month. The current LSU Tigers have the Super Regionals against West Virginia coming up with an opportunity to go to Omaha. Would you go to Omaha if they advance just for fun? Or?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully you do. I'll be there if they go, and I'm sure a lot of people watching right now will be there too. So look out for him. Going to be a great player for the Tigers, great student, great athlete, just a great guy overall, and an excellent representative of Catholic High School, and he will be a great representative of LSU, Jay Johnson, and the baseball team as well. Thanks so much for stopping by. Much appreciated. We will catch you next time on Game Time with John Eads.